Hello and welcome to The Big Fight. And let's now turn our attention to the biggest fight of them all. Because wherever you go these days, if I go into the market, I'm asked one question. If I go for dinner, I'm asked one question. If I step in somewhere for a cup of coffee, I'm asked one question. When I walk around in the newsroom, I'm asked one question. And that one question, of course, is who is going to win in Uttar Pradesh? And so far, my answer has been a completely truthful and an honest one to say, quite frankly, I haven't a clue. I have some indications, I have some hints, but you can't really say what is going to happen in Uttar Pradesh. It is such a large state. There are so many different permutations and combinations. So many people have been surprised in the past that it's really risky to stick your neck out and say what's going to happen. However, on this program, we've got a bunch of experts who are going to do just that. They're going to tell us whom they think are going to win in Uttar Pradesh, but all of them are likely to have a slightly different answer, so we may well leave you confused. However, what we will also try and do in this program, because we are halfway through the election process in Uttar Pradesh, a little more than halfway through, is try and understand some of the trends that are very clearly surfacing in UP. For example, polarization, what's happening to that entire development discourse, is that behind us? And also, what is the election in Uttar Pradesh and the final result? What is it actually going to mean for national politics? Those are two big questions that we will try and turn our attention to. All right, let me start by welcoming all of the guests whom we have with us. It's great to have with us Jeevan Narasimha Rao is going to be, well, you are a BJP spokesperson, so I'm not going to ask you to interpret it for us with your cephalogical hat on, but maybe you can. Pawan Khera from the Congress Party. It's great to have you with us. Surendra Bhadoria from the BSP. Hiral is editor CSDS, who's going to be trying to perhaps bring us a slightly different viewpoint and a neutral viewpoint. Joy Singh's joining us from Lucknow. It's great to have you with us, representing the Samajwadi Party. And it's great to have you with us also Sharad Pradhan, one of the top experts who will be able to really help us understand what is going to happen in Uttar Pradesh. So, why don't I chicken out from the question first of all and throw it to each of you. Who is winning in Uttar Pradesh? Let's try and get the politicians to answer that first, and then I'm going to come to the neutral experts.
No, undoubtedly, it is the BJP.
Why am I surprised that you're saying that?
Every election across the country, the BJP is sweeping. Certainly, UP is an election that we think we have won. Because
you have won?
Yes, we have.
Isn't it dangerous? Look, by the way, what you're saying seems to be, at least in the last week or 10 days, the dominant theme that is emerging, the BJP up ahead. And it keeps changing. Every week there's a theory as to who's ahead. First it was Samajwadi Party, Congress sweeping it. Then it was Bahujan Samaj Party has done really well in the first couple of phases. After phase 3 now, BJP well ahead. There are still lots of twists and turns in this. You're saying BJP winning? Absolute, single largest party, absolute majority?
No, I think unprecedented victory. I think that's what I'm saying. Based on my own feel.
More than 220 seats?
Well above that. Well above that.
Wow. That's it. Yeah, I was waiting to see which of you will take him on.
They were saying that they are going to sweep the elections in Uttar Pradesh. I will say that they will be swept off their feet in Uttar Pradesh elections, because they were sweeping in Delhi and they just won 3 seats. They were sweeping in Bihar. They were completely routed. And let me also say this, I'm coming from Uttar Pradesh.
Sweeping in Delhi, the opponent had a jhadu, so it helped them get swept.
And here there is an elephant which will just blow them off. And let me also say this.
The elephant will blow them
off. And the fact is that now that they are losing, and that is why they are now coming to the communal agenda. The agenda is no longer, it's kabarastan and...
but that would help them win the election, by the way.
No, they will not win this election. If they were winning, they would have said Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas.
We said that.
They have put it back.
That's the comment.
They have put it behind.
No, they could have used the communal agenda to win the election. And maybe it's working. I'm going to come to that.
UP farmers are committing suicide. Unemployed youth in crores in number are moving around in the streets of Uttar Pradesh. They want the answer on employment, on farmers.
Directly
they have no answer
for a
to all
community
these
vote.
issues. Therefore, let me
Yesterday,
say this,
she
that
directly
the
appealed
Samajwadi
for a community
and the
vote.
BJP, which have failed. They have not given MSP 50% price while he was the Prime Minister. Same way, Akhilesh Yadav.
I am cool and he's very excited
BJP is getting more than 220. How many do you think the Bahujan
We will
Samaj
form
Party
the
is getting?
government with absolute majority. They were forming the government in Delhi and Bihar. And let me also give one more suggestion, that it was the media, including the NDTV in the beginning, they were declaring victory for the BJP. And I saw Pranav Roy and others, they were surprised.
They were congratulations because we knew the real situation
when the results were out, and they were completely swept off their feet.
A party which is winning the election. Why are you blocking down?
Which of them is? I've spoken to two parties that are winning the election.
But you should give a chance
Now,
to
look,
the
you're
person.
not winning the election, the Congress by itself. So, okay, with your
End
ally.
of the day,
fine.
it's an
So,
alliance,
I'm
and
about
of
to
course
turn
the
this
alliance
over.
will win. And I have reasons to say what I'm saying. The BJP has kept changing its agenda across the phases of elections. In Western UP, they realized that polarization would not work at all because, as my rival party said, that the farmers were angry. I agree with them. Farmers absolutely angry with the central government. 1,800 crore dues to the sugarcane farmers, and they also realized that the Jats were not really getting polarized, and they had seen through the game.
Okay.
So they did not. They spoke about Vikaas very reluctantly because that's the language which BJP does not understand. They are not comfortable with talking about Sabka Vikas, Sabka Saath.
2014 election, they won talking about Vikaas.
Absolutely not. In Muzaffarnagar, what was the
talking about
whisper
across the
campaign?
country, by and large.
Muzaffarnagar led the 2014 victory in Uttar Pradesh.
It could be argued
But
that Uttar
the
Pradesh
game will
has
not
seen the
carry
most
on.
amount of communal
Let me complete.
rhetoric
JDL.
from the BJP in a while. And
No,
that's
his
an
own
interesting-
former
No,
boss,
he's,
Sheila Dikshit, says Rahul Gandhi
No,
is
she's
immature. He
tweeted
doesn't
what
have
she
the
had to
capacity
us,
to
that's
lead.
right.
She said that
No,
only
no,
a
no,
couple
no.
of hours ago.
She's just
So
tweeted,
you
she
are
has
dependent
tweeted
on
her
Rahul Gandhi's
clarification.
leadership.
She knows what. I mean, you should see the Twitter also. You are always forever on television channels. You don't have time for Twitter, and the Prime
No,
Minister
she
has
said
only
that.
time for Twitter because he does nothing else.
Can I ask you a cruel question before I come to the Samajwadi Party?
Always welcome.
When is the Congress Party going to win its next election?
When? If in Uttar Pradesh,
No, anywhere.
Punjab, Goa,
Anywhere.
Uttarakhand,
Okay.
Manipur,
Fine. So, Punjab,
Until
you said
11
for
we can
sure.
say.
Punjab, Goa,
Aam Aadmi Party
Uttarakhand.
could win. Uttarakhand, possible.
Aam Aadmi Party, but
Are you
Punjab.
not disappointed?
No, they are not winning.
By the way, this week, has it not been a traumatic experience with the Congress
No,
Party?
not
What happened in
really. Not
Maharashtra?
really. Look at the rural Maharashtra, what it's doing for us. Look at Gujarat's
Couldn't win a
election.
single-
I'm
you-
sorry. No, you can't call it a sinking ship just because you lost an urban area which we were not
Congress
winning for the
will
last
win the
25
next
years.
election.
Which we were not winning for the last 25 years.
Okay, so you're
and
still buoyant and
coming to a
optimistic.
larger election, when will the Congress win? 2019, my friends.
Okay, we'll wait. We will wait and we will see. Now, Juhi, let me come to you. Are you slightly disappointed with where the Samajwadi Party and the Congress are? Because 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, everyone thought it was an election that was yours to lose. Now, people are not that sure. I'm being polite.
Vikram, we are happy with the way we are performing, and we are doing well in all the phases. The arrogance of the BJP and their changing narrative. First they were getting 300 plus, then their home minister said that probably 250, now it's 220. The narrative
That's
also
not my
changed. It
number.
started with development, then polarization, then today it was Shamshan Ghat, Kabarastan. Today the Prime Minister even went to the extent of saying that the Kanpur train accident was actually caused by some people who were living in UP who had cross-border connections. So now terrorism has also been thrown in for the people of UP, apart from, it's changing every day. In Gonda, he goes and talks about the fact, and he talks about Netaji's reign as the defense minister, that he did nothing and the Prime Minister couldn't find money, but he is going to find it to do something for our army. So he can say what he wants, but the Samajwadi Party is
And
fighting
you
on
can
the
call
ground
us
and with the
terrorists.
Congress, and
You
we are
can
happy.
call the Prime Minister, you can call our national president a terrorist,
That
and
is
you
only
think
the
you are running a
prerogative of
you think
Mr.
you are
Amit
running
Shah
a
to
great
call the
campaign.
opposition Kasab.
You think you are running a great
It is the
campaign.
prerogative of
GVL,
Mr.
don't
Amit
say
Shah
that
to
that,
call us Kasab. We cannot say anything because they are in power.
Yes.
No, why?
don't
You,
say
you,
that.
Because they are in power, they have the
are you not
prerogative.
calling us names?
No.
Okay.
Who is
say
calling
that.
names? You
Just
started it.
showing your level of
No, but
stupidity.
calling
Because the Prime Minister
terrorists,
said
calling
today.
Calling us Pakistanis is
no,
good.
but
Yes,
what do you
your
expect?
Prime
You call
Minister.
us terrorists,
Prime
you
Minister.
call the
Ram
Prime
Zadas
Minister
and
of the
there are some other
country,
Zadas.
you
That
call
is
my
good.
National
MP,
Party president a
That was last
terrorist.
question.
Me down, Vikram.
Okay,
please say
Sharad.
that, he comes to a state where he's an MP and he says this sort.
So Sharad, tell us, who is winning, how many seats,
Well, Vikram-
and which seats are they winning? Tell us all.
Well, Vikram, what we have heard so far is the wishful thinking of the respective political parties.
Yeah, that's where I'm
So,
coming.
and if that were to be believed, then we would need about 1,000 seats in the Vidhan Sabha, not 403. Well, what surprises me is the fact that GVL is trying to extrapolate the 2014 victory to the Vidhan Sabha election.
No.
Which is an expert.
No.
I mean, I have always admired him as a cephalogist. I don't know why he seems to be doing that. You know, the first two phases were clearly going in favor of the Congress-SP alliance. And there was every reason to believe, because there was a clear-cut, the Muslim vote was drifting towards the alliance, and that is an area in both the first and second phases where the Muslim vote means a lot. And it could have been a deciding factor. But what happened in the third phase, that the vote got split, and you could see that the narrative that changed from development to all kinds of funny things, all kinds of stupid things, I would say, without realizing, they were stooping down. I mean, one had never imagined the Prime Minister, who never talked communal in 2014, which is why he got the surge that he, in 73 seats. I fail to understand why BJP limits itself to the typical RSS ideology, which does not give them any extension beyond the captive vote bank that they have in the name of Hindutva.
Can I,
You know,
Sharad,
for the people in the
Sharad,
name
can
of
I just
Hindutva,
question you
they
on that?
want only-
Sharad, hang on. Let me question you on that.
Yeah.
If things started to change after phase 3, and you're saying it's possible that things have started to change after phase 3, you could argue, I'm not saying this is the case, but you could argue it's precisely for that reason. BJP sensed that it wasn't doing that well, and then therefore decided to pull out the polarization card, and now the election's getting more and more
Absolutely.
polarized, and the BJP is doing better. In a
That is what
sense,
I'm-
this is a theory I'm going to put out here. Are we seeing in the UP election of 2017 a return to some of the elections in the past, where once again identity politics is coming out more, once again the communal card is coming out more, once again the politics of polarization are going to work itself back? Is this going to be a 1980s or 1990s style election? It's a theory. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's a theory. Is that what's happening, Sharath, on the ground?
Well, I don't see that happening, because this is a triangular contest that works where it's a bipolar. In a triangular contest, this doesn't really work. They may try it. That's why I was emphasizing on the fact that when you appeal in the name of religion, then your
I
area,
totally
then your
disagree.
domain is
I would
limited.
like to respond to
because
this.
you already have a captive vote bank. When you want to extend beyond that, you have to appeal beyond that, and that is a youth. Mind you, there's a huge chunk of youth which has been decisive in 2012, decisive in 2014, and I still feel that that is a voter which is not communalized, and which makes a lot of difference, which makes a considerable
I want
So-
to come in on
and
this.
in this
Yeah,
election
so-
again.
just quickly
GV,
come in.
I'm
And
going to look at
let
some
me
of the
tell you,
evidence.
the youth.
No, but can I
Let me
just
complete.
quickly give
So
a
there are
short
two aspects
comment?
to this.
No, there
Yeah.
is a short comment I want to make.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you think it's everybody's birthright to talk about Muslim vote from the time the elections have not even been announced. Okay. But for anyone, for a party to say, don't
I'm sorry,
discriminate.
this is
No,
incorrect.
I think you
Which
can't
parties
gang
spoke
up like
about
this.
Muslim
You can't gang up against like this. You can't gang up.
Mayawati-
Please listen. Let me finish. Let
What
me
is
finish.
Kabarastan?
You
Starting
can't
language
drown my
communalism.
voice.
Let
But
GVS
you can't drown my
Narendra Modi,
voice.
Mr. Amit
Let me
Shah.
have my
GVS,
say.
let
You can
GVS
come in
finish.
later.
Let GVS
You
say
cannot
what he
drown
said.
my voice.
Just because you are a ruling
You
party,
cannot
we-
drown my
you
voice.
can't shut us up. We'll still
No,
speak.
I will
We'll
say what
still
I have
speak.
to say.
Okay, can
We'll
GVS
still
speak?
speak.
I will keep
Hello.
quiet.
Still
I have
speak.
listened to what he said.
I'm
I
just
will
in front
listen
of
to
this
you
house.
also.
It's
GVL.
a healthy
No.
habit. It's a healthy habit to keep
GVL.
quiet sometimes.
Mother, GVL. Finish what
I'll
you're saying.
finish, let them come in.
Yeah.
I think everybody thinks, every party thinks it's their birthright to communalize, to talk of Muslim vote, which is direct communal appeasement, and to communalize your entire governance. say you will do this only for a particular community because you think you can convert this into a vote bank. But for us to really call out that bluff, it becomes communalism. I think this is warped kinds of thinking. I think both political parties and sections of the media are perverse in their understanding of secularism. I am all for minority rights, but you cannot say they will get everything while I will ignore others. This is my
Mr. Bhadoria, before I come to Hilal, Mr. Bhadoria, hang on. It's not that he doesn't have a point. I'll tell you why I'm saying that he doesn't have a point. It is not the case. I want just you to hear this. A statement made by Mayawati just a few days back, directly, clearly saying, well, this is what the Muslim voters should do. Let's just hear this. This is what Mayawati said just a couple of days back.
She did say this, and I'm going to reiterate why she said this.
मुस्लिम समाज के लोगों को भी अपना एक तरफा वोट सपा को न देकर केवल अपनी एकमात्र हितैषी पार्टी बहुजन समाज पार्टी को ही देना है.
It is in the background of lynching of Akhlaq in Dadri, 400 communal riots in 400 communal riots in Uttar Pradesh under Akhilesh Yadav, and Muzaffarnagar riot, the most shameful riot where 1 lakh people became homeless. Why will we not say this, that we need to secure them?
Are you not seeing the danger of a strategy? Hang on. All I'm trying to say is, you may have a point, you may not have a point. My simple question is, you can pillory the BJP for raising communal slogans, talking about communal stuff, talking about kabarastan or whatever it is. Correct to pillory them for raising that. But isn't it equally reprehensible if the Bahujan Samaj Party, the Samajwadi Party or the Congress start playing communal politics? No one, either everyone should be allowed to play it or no one should do it.
These sections need to be reassured that you have a future in this country. They have been saying this, and that is the reason that we have to do. That is why they are saying shamshan, kabarastan. What is shamshan and kabarastan to do with elections now?
Politics.
Okay, I'm going to come back.
Politics.
Let me park this for a minute, because I haven't asked Hilal yet who's winning. So let me park this, because I'm not quite sure that it's as clear cut as all of you think it is. Hilal, first of all, tell us who's winning, and then I'm going to get you into
It's a difficult question. I don't have any answer to that as a researcher. This is going to be not merely the electoral will, but the language of Indian politics is going to change after election, which you indicated in your initial comment. Why? Because I think I agree with him that he is saying that BJP is emerging as a powerful force in the country. But that powerful force
has emerged as a powerful force is ruling the country.
No, if you look at the statistics, in post-2014, all assembly elections, BJP did extremely well. Now, if that is the case, other parties are opposing the BJP, but without naming this opposition as any kind of anti-BJPism. Now, this is an important point. If you want to change the binary of politics, you need to realize in what kind of opposition you are proposing to BJP. So that is one thing which I think I don't get any answer either from Congress or BSP, at least in this election. That's why I disagree slightly with Bhadoria Sahab. This is not the question when Mayawati said that a number of Muslim candidates are put in the electoral fray. She is making a point which have been made in the past by Congress as well as SP, and that is under-representation of Muslim in assembly constituency. This is an important political agenda which is going to affect not merely the kind of communal secular divide which is played out very clearly in the state, but also the language of politics.
So here's the question. So that's exactly why I want to come back to this issue now, and it's interesting because is UP going to prove a turning point? Just for example, to show all of you what we are talking about, here's a snapshot of the sort of discourse that is actually taking place in Uttar Pradesh right now in the election campaign. This is what a lot of the discourse has been. Take a look.
गांव में अगर कब्रिस्तान बनता है तो गांव में स्मशान भी बनना चाहिए. अगर रमजान में बिजली मिलती है तो दिवाली में भी बिजली मिलनी चाहिए. भेदभाव नहीं होना चाहिए.
मुस्लिम समाज के लोगों को भी अपना एक तरफा वोट सपा को न देकर केवल अपनी एकमात्र हितैषी पार्टी बहुजन समाज पार्टी को ही देना है.
सरकार को कहती है बहुत लैपटॉप बांट दिए, क्यों नहीं मिला है? क्योंकि लैपटॉप देने के पहले आपका डर पूछते हैं, आपकी जाति पूछते हैं.
नरेंद्र का मतलब होता है नेगेटिव, दामोदर दास का मतलब होता है दलित, और मोदी का मतलब होता है मैन. ही इज नेगेटिव दलित मैन.
उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता इस बार कसाब से मुक्ति पाले। कसाब से मेरा मतलब है, कसे है कांग्रेस पार्टी, ससे है समाजवादी पार्टी और बसे है। जब तक कसाब को खत्म नहीं करोगे, उत्तर प्रदेश का भला नहीं होने वाला।
अभी कानपुर में रेल अकस्मात हुआ, सैकड़ों लोग मारे गए और वह अकस्मात से नहीं, एक षड्यंत्र के तहत हुआ। और षड्यंत्र करने वाले कहां बैठे थे? सीमा के उस पार।